wanted to start a new series. I say start a new series. First series ever. Fuck! I hate talking to myself in the car. I wanted to start a series called like realistic bodybuilding or something, because a lot of people want to be bodybuilders. A lot of people ask me questions about bodybuilding. I'm not a very good bodybuilder. I know a lot about the sport. I can coach people pretty well, but like genetically speaking, I'm not predisposed to being like an awesome bodybuilder. So my path forward in bodybuilding, and I've talked about it before many times, I would consider to be realistic. I know that in order for me to get a pro card, it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a lot, and it's gonna take a long time too. So I'm not off in La La Land thinking that like a pro card is right around the corner, right? And I'm gonna do a road to pro series, and it's only gonna be like a couple months long. I'm not fucking stupid. It's not happening anytime soon. It's gonna take a while. Not only that, I have a full-time job. I don't do this influencing or this coaching stuff full-time. I just got off work. That's my fucking building back there. I should probably blur that out. I just got off work and I'm gonna go to the gym. It's 7 o'clock. I still gotta go to the gym. I still have a meal to get in later. I still gotta do some cardio. I still gotta answer some clients. Like there's a lot for me to do during the day. Trying to prioritize this job, the coaching job, social media, and actual my career in bodybuilding is a little bit difficult to balance, especially if I want to see friends and family from time to time. It sucks. It's rough. It's not optimal, you might say. But for a lot of people, that's the reality of bodybuilding. It's kind of like a hobby that they enjoy doing. Maybe they're good at it, maybe they're not. It doesn't matter. Most people don't join bodybuilding because they think that they're going to make it to the Olympia stage in 3 years, right? Those are the stories that we see a lot because those are the fun stories, but it's just not viable for most of us. By the way, 7 o'clock, yes, this is pre-workout, but there's no stimulants in it. EchoVision's, can you fucking focus, you sack of shit? There you go. It's EchoVision's Satori 4.0, cleverly nicknamed Face Off, because I'm on the cover of it. I don't have the actual tub in front of me. This is a sample from when we were first, trying out formulas and flavors and whatnot. This is the blue raspberry taste test, I guess. And this is the one that actually ended up going into production and getting made. It was my flavor choice, so it's obviously going to be my favorite. For those of you who are slamming pre-workout at like 5, 6 o'clock or later and trying to go to bed that night by a reasonable hour, you're fucking yourselves over a little bit. Bodybuilding for most people is not a bunch of gear and you step on stage 3 times and you get a pro card and then it's the road to the Olympia. Bodybuilding for most people is a hobby that they try to squeeze in whenever the fuck their schedule allows for it. I coach a lot of first-time competitors who, are finishing up college and they know that once they get a career, they might not have the time to bodybuild. They might not be able to commit to a prep to be able to bodybuild at some point. So they want to go compete before they graduate college. Or, I got a couple clients who want to compete in bodybuilding, but they have a full-time job and they have to take actual PTO and vacation days in order to go compete at some point. That sucks. That sucks taking your vacation days to go compete. But the people with the bodybuilding mindset, that's usually what it ends up having to be. So you have to be realistic with yourself. Yes, I would love to, the next time that I go into prep, be, a self-employed fucking influencer who can wake up at any time, eat at any time, train at any time. That's not realistic for me. I'm getting off work at 7 o'clock and I got to go work out and I got to fit in my meals. I got to figure out how to make that work in my schedule. And that's the reality for a lot of people who want to get into the sport of bodybuilding. You're going to see a lot of journeys from Nick Walkers and Chris Bumsteads and all these other guys who can do bodybuilding full-time because they're genetic phenoms. Obviously, they work their asses off too, but they're genetic phenoms. They can make a living out of influencing in bodybuilding, right? But I figured it might be useful to a lot of you. To see what like realistic bodybuilding looks like for a lot of people who have to fucking balance it with a full-time job and whatever other obligations they might have. So it's a Thursday, it's a push day, my brain is fucking mush right now. I can't think of shit. So I get a lot of questions of like, how do I fit in this and that in my schedule? How do I get my 10,000 steps? When do I work out? What if I can only commit 4 days a week to working out? Like, can I build muscle? That type of question I get probably more so than anything else, especially from people who have full-time jobs. It's a valid question. The simple answer is that you don't. You just don't. Listen, a lot of online gurus are going to say the opposite. They're going to be like, no, you just got to want it, man. You got to prioritize it. You got to find the hours in your schedule. It's not possible. I'm telling you right now, as somebody with 2 jobs that prioritizes their health, It's not possible to get everything right when you're that active and busy of a person. I have my full-time job. I have my self-employed online coaching business. I have social media as another source of income. It takes up a lot of hours in a day. So I'm not gonna get over 10,000 steps a day and over 8 hours of sleep a day and have the absolute perfect meal timing every single day. Somebody like me, or as busy. Now, I hate talking to myself. It's not a reason to create excuses for yourself, but you do have to be a little bit realistic. I promise I'm gonna get optimistic in a second. But you do have to be realistic, because otherwise you're gonna set goals that you can't meet. And if you're just constantly setting goals and not meeting them, you're not fucking getting anywhere. So stop listening to these online fucking gurus who are standing on a stage in a sweater vest with a fucking microphone telling you that you just need to grind harder, because their fucking advice is useless. Listen to me, be realistic for 5 seconds, okay? I am not gonna be able to go to my job every single day, also manage my clients every single day, also put out a lot of content every day, also get 10,000 steps a day, also time my meals perfectly every single day, also get 8+ hours of sleep every day, also practice mindfulness or meditation of some kind, also read a book, also have some downtime to myself so I don't go fucking insane. You cannot fit all of that into a single day, and you can't do that every single fucking day. You just fucking can't. People have tried and they failed. So what do you need to do? Prioritize your life and decide what can drop off on what days. I don't work my 9 to 5 on weekends, which means I have 2 days where I have 10 more hours than usual. Usually what I do, since I manage a lot of clients, is a massive chunk of that gets taken up by that. All of my errands for the week happens on Saturday and Sunday. All groceries, meal prep, all of that shit, Saturday and Sunday. At least my weekdays a little bit more open, because I know I'm not gonna have to go grab random groceries. I'm not gonna have to do any meal prep or cook dinner on fucking weekdays. I know that I'm not gonna have any longer video calls or chats with any of my clients, because that stuff is saved for the weekend. I still talk to them on a weekly basis, or like on a daily basis during the weekdays. It's just not longer talks, whatever. But you know, my step count for every single weekday is to get over 6,000. That's it. Again, it seems pretty low for a lot of people. That would be like sedentary. I get that. But for me, I just have to choose something that's realistic. Do I wish that that was a little bit higher, and I'm going to actively try to find windows in my day to make it a little bit higher? Sure. But for now, the requirement is more than 6,000 steps a day. Whatever. And guess what? On weekends, when I have a little bit more time, maybe I can go for a hike while I'm taking some client calls or something, if I have fucking service out there. In which case, on weekends, oftentimes I'm averaging above like 15,000 steps. So my weekly average gets brought up a whole lot. Not ideal, but it's something, okay? There's definitely nights where if I had more work than usual, I'm losing hours of sleep. And that's the worst fucking thing for me. I hate getting like 6 hours of sleep, but that does happen every once in a while. But what needs to happen right now? I didn't finish my pre-workout. It takes a couple minutes to kick in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slam it. I'm gonna record a couple TikToks, Reels, whatever, sitting in my fucking car, as you guys have always seen me in all its glory. And then I'm gonna go work out. It'll take about 90 minutes. Once I get out of there, I gotta do my cardio after that. I have a little bit of time. Do some posing practice. I'm gonna get out of there. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna eat my last meal, and I'm gonna cry myself to sleep. I'm telling you that now because there's a really strong chance that at some point in doing all of that, I decide to stop recording because I'm just fucking fed up with it. All right, realistic bodybuilding post-workout. Let's see what I look like. These look worse. All right, so we look okay. Just okay though. I could, if I push myself for another year, right? This time next year, I could go into prep, I could go compete, and I could probably make it to a national stage. That's cool. That's nice and all. I'd come in dead fucking last place though. I don't feel like it would be worth it for me to go compete next year, just to make it to a national stage and end up in last place. If I want to compete, I want to compete well. I want to have a shot at placing. The goal right now is to compete in a couple of years, right? Push for a little bit, maybe in 2 years, 3 years time, I can go compete, I can make it to a national stage, and I could do okay. I could end up in the mix. I could be a part of the conversation, maybe I could place. That's way more valuable of a competition to me, because then I get a better idea of where I need to be. I don't think I'm 2 or 3 years away from winning on a national stage, but I could go be competitive on a national stage in 2 or 3 years. So I could get some good feedback, I can see what the competition looks like, I can see what it's like competing at a national level, what that type of prep entails, and then go back into a long off season, try again in a couple of years, and maybe take a shot at a pro card. Again, this is realistic bodybuilding, so I think I'm gonna get a pro card anytime soon? No. It's gonna take a really long time, it's gonna take a lot of work. That's fine. I'm gonna work out for the next 3, 4, 5 decades of my life anyway. Why not take my time and compete when I'm ready? Although, it would be nice. It would be really nice to see what this minus 20 pounds of fat looks like. But alas, not happening anytime soon. Whoa, magic, he's back home. Last meal of the day. The push day was okay. I've had better push days. Told you guys, I might get fed up with fucking recording. So I didn't record a single fucking set, just the pump after. It was an okay push day, but I don't know. I just felt like not being on camera for a little bit. So last meal of the day isn't really a meal. It's a big old fucking shake with a bunch of fun stuff in it. This is not a follow along recipe. This is not a anabolic recipe. This tastes like shit. It doesn't taste good, and that's okay because it's healthy. Spinach. Who didn't want some extra greens in their life? Yeah. Berries. Fuck, don't know about how expensive raspberries are. It's ridiculous. And for those of you in the States, I don't have a Costco near me, so I can't. Oh, fuck. That was way too much. This is why we pay attention, Joshua. Protein will go in at some point. I'm missing all my seeds on my bird food. This is my favorite crack spoon, but it's also used for bird feed. Blender. This one came out alright. It's a little bit too much water, but that's better than nothing. It looks a little gray and depressing. It also doesn't smell good, and it also doesn't taste good. So, really hitting all the right notes. So, I mean, it's not the best looking thing in the world. I don't know. Whatever, but look at this. Wait, look at this. Hold on. A little straw. Doesn't that look so much more appetizing now? It's not as bad as I'm making it sound. It's just one of those things where, like, when you're a fat ass like me, this late at night, you want like 3 cheeseburgers. Like, I want to crush a whole Domino's pizza right now. 4 deluxe chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A right now. 2 10-piece combos from Wingstop. I don't know why it needs to be 2 10s instead of a 20, but it does. But I get this instead. That's it. That's today's episode of Realistic Bodybuilding, I guess. That is fucking grainy. Anyway, that's it. I don't care. I don't feel like talking to you guys anymore, so I'm gonna end the video right there. Check me out on other platforms. Don't be stupid. Read a book. I don't even read. Why am I telling you guys to do that? Bye.